Hello everyone, this is Jialing Jin and I'm going to talk something about taxonomy. This presentation includes the definitions of the taxonomy, the types of the taxonomy, and one way to build a web information architecture taxonomy. Taxonomy is one aspect of the information architecture that seeks to define the relationships between the components. In my understanding, it is one technique to summarize information and characterize them with attributes. As taxonomy expresses hierarchical relationships, your tree-like organization of topics is taxonomy. Taxonomy is crucial for technical writing. It helps the users to find the necessary information quicker and makes your documentation more effective and easy to interrupt. It reminds me of the dictionary in my computer. Usually, I will clean up my folders and put the same level files into one folder. I think it could be one practice by using the principle of the taxonomy. As to the types of the taxonomy, flat taxonomy show top-level terms spread out horizontally, showing a broad range of subjects, but no much depth for any one subject. This works well for sites that have distinct, recognizable characteristics that don't have much overlap in terms of meaning. When creating sitemaps for web redesigns, flat taxonomies also usually translate into simple navigation. A hierarchical taxonomy is a flat taxonomy with added subsections and subcategories. Hierarchical taxonomies are probably the most common and show the depth at which the subjects go. Again, this typically translates well to a site navigation. It has clear layers. When terms are separate but still connected to each other on the same level, we want to draw lines between those terms to create networks. A network taxonomy can represent the way that users think and relate to associated topics, and may turn into metadata tagging system. This also informs more intuitive navigation elements, such as adding a call to action on a page that directs to another site area. This reminds me of the network that is the information architecture of Bill. You can see that all the attributes are connected. You can start with the bell and go to the loggers, and the loggers are connected with many bubbles, and this is the network taxonomy. A facet or spider web taxonomy shows the term or the item at the center of the web, with associated taxonomies drawn around it. Then I will introduce one possible way to build a web information architecture taxonomy in a technical way. This is a US patent about the integration of the Web Information Architecture taxonomy and the Web Metrics taxonomy. This is a block of diagram illustrating one possible way to build a Web Information Architecture taxonomy in a technical way. The first step is to define a web architecture using a content authoring service. When developing the web content using a rich source content architecture, for example, a software company may classify content by product name, product version, platform, features, target audience, keywords, etc. The author may use the complex content organization systems using subject relationships, classification relationships, and topic relationships. Then the author assigns unique identifiers to the source content using the source content taxonomy and the content organization systems. The source content taxonomy may include an identifier attribute for many elements, and the author may define a customer attribute. The third step to transform the source content, which contains the unique identifiers, into web content containing identifiers in text. A simple method to transform each source content taxonomy element into an item of content assigned its own unique identifier. The identifier may be unique over the scope of all content to be measured. The unique identifier may be embedded into web content in the form of a tag. The content authoring system may transform the source content into static web content, or the source content may be the source for a web application that generates web content dynamically. The effect is the same as long as a tag with an identifier is embedded into the web content. As users view the web content, the text generates usage data. The usage data can be collected by various techniques. The identifiers may be stored in the web server log, the log of a separate web server or separate database. Whatever data storage technique used, the identifiers from the text are stored in the usage data. The original source content contains the taxonomy and the identifiers for each item of the web content. In step 5, a web metrics report program maps the identifiers from the source content to the identifiers from the usage data. The result is a web metric report that shows the web metrics using the same taxonomy as the information architecture. Based on this diagram, we can analyze the usage data and the web metrics reports to test the effectiveness of the taxonomy, and then we can do improvements to change our taxonomy methods. These are my references I used in this presentation. If you are curious about any of them, you can go to these websites. Thank you for your listening.